Hi, I'm Jennifer from Shabby Fabrics. I have a great practical project for you today. This is called a neck wallet. Have you ever been at an event, a venue where you just needed your hands free, but you needed to have an ID with you? You wanted to have your credit card with you, maybe some cash. This is just ideal for that type of a situation. We were just at International Quilt Festival and I had to have my ID displayed the entire time, of course. But it was like, how do you do that? You don't want it clipped to your clothes. So this is super practical. I want to show you one other really neat feature that we thought this through. There is a pocket inside here. There's a zipper, but the pocket doesn't go all the way down. It only goes halfway, because if you're reaching for your credit card, you don't want that to be at the very bottom of your bag, or you're going to be really deep, reaching deep into that bag. So this is a really practical one. I think it makes a great gift also. You'll want to make sure to go to the Shabby Fabrics homepage. There is a link that says free downloads. Click that and you'll be looking for the DIY neck wallet. Now be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. There are so many projects: DIY, Christmas decor, holiday decor, everyday decor, and of course quilts. So it's just fun to be able to be the first to know whenever we do have a new video releasing. Once you get that neck wallet downloaded, the information sheet is going to tell you what size you need to cut your various fabrics to. This is a beautiful collection from Maywood Studio available, and we've coordinated our thread with the Masterpiece 50 weight Egyptian cotton. Can't recommend this thread enough. I do all of my piecing with the Masterpiece 50 weight Egyptian cotton. Love it. Comes in 75 beautiful colors. To get started, as I said, download that. Now you'll have a front and a back of these two pockets. So you've got this pocket. In fact, let me take that ID out so you can see it better. You've got this as a pocket with a lining. This is a pocket with a lining, and then you've got the inside, and as I mentioned to you, it's got that short pocket. And then of course you have a backing, and then you have a binding to tie it all together. Those are the components of what we're going to make. Just to give the pockets a little more stability, we used iron-on interfacing behind one of the, I think it was the front fabric, and then the back doesn't have anything on that. And same here with the second pocket. Just a lightweight interfacing iron to the front. The backing doesn't have anything. The main part of the bag, we have a fusible fleece on there. So we'll get to that as we go along. Now, once you've got these prepared, they're cut just so. You've got the interfacing and you've got your lining. You'll line them up and you'll be cutting these little pieces of binding. Let's see, how wide is that? 2 inches is quite narrow. So we're just going to fold in half as you normally would for binding, and you will sew that. In fact, I've done that one ahead of time. Let me show that to you. So here's what we did. Folded that in half, sew with our 1/4 inch, and then you'll just turn to the back as you would bind a quilt. Now we have some really neat clips. I used to pin things, and you know, the truth is I poked myself a lot. I don't think I'm a clumsy person, but somehow I just kept poking myself. So when these clips came out, I said, oh, let me have them. And we have some really neat colors right now. We have the beautiful pink for the breast cancer portion of the proceeds goes to breast cancer research. Then we also have the same type of clip, but it's in a multicolor. Really pretty colors, that's always fun. And then we also have that same multicolor, but in a mini clip for just small projects, mini quilts. You don't want as big of a clip. So I'll just be using the mini clips today. I'll just roll that to the back, use my mini clips to just hold that in place. Now normally when I do the binding on a quilt, I stitch the binding to the back by hand. That's just me, I like to do that. But on a project like this, we found it very simple and easy to just do what's called stitch in the ditch. You just kind of roll that back and you're just going to, with your beautiful coordinating thread. In fact, this color is color 138. This, you'll just stitch in the ditch all the way down, and that's how you'll deal with you'll add your binding to this pocket and the same with that pocket. So you'll repeat that step. Let me get you to that stage real quick. and you'll lay your pieces out like this. Now you've got 3 pieces going on. I would recommend at this stage to do a basting stitch, because we need to now soon be adding in our clear little vinyl pocket. You start adding too many layers, things start moving around. Go ahead, pin that in position, and then just do an 1/8 of an inch basting stitch down the right side, across the bottom, and back on the left side. Once you do that, we're ready to go on to the next stage. So let me do that. I think we've done that ahead of time. We did. Okay. After this, you'll be adding your piece of vinyl. Now, you want to choose a nice, thick, sturdy piece of vinyl here, because your ID is going to be going in and outside of that. So while you could use something like a plastic bag, I've seen that done before, I don't know how sturdy that's going to be. So just get yourself a piece of this sturdy vinyl, cut to the exact shape, just coming in almost right, kind of bisecting that binding. You'll just cut that same rectangle. Now, we learned something. I like to pin things when I pin my layers together when I sew them together. But we learned that when we use pins with the vinyl, it doesn't let go of those holes. Those holes are there forever. So we found a really neat product. I want to show you this. It's called Wonder Tape. Go ahead and position that exactly where I want that vinyl to be and press really hard. I did discover that if I don't press it down really hard, when I go to take off the paper side, it just comes right off. And you'll do the same thing along the bottom. This tape is so cool. Anytime you want something to stay in position, just get this Wonder Tape. I was very recently introduced to this, and I have now found so many times where I just want things to stay in position while I sew them down. Okay, and that, I should have gone the other direction now, shouldn't I? So I can just cut right off there. And that probably looking right here at that vinyl, it's about 1 inch down. So I'll stop that. Well, let's measure that. That's what smart people do. 1, 2, 3, about that same distance there. Okay, so that's how you're going to prepare that. Now, of course, you would, before you put that corner down, you're going to peel this off. So let me show you that. It's super sticky. You just peel this paper back. It's a little bit of work to get it off because it's so sticky. You just have to kind of work with it. There it goes. Okay. And then, of course, you're going to peel that off and peel that off. Once that's done, you'll get your piece of vinyl, and then you're simply going to just position that vinyl. It's so fantastic, no pins required. And then you'll simply take this to the sewing machine, and again, sew 1/8 of an inch basting stitch around that vinyl envelope there. Then after that, we'll grab our zipper and our pocket fabric. Now you've got, of course, a wrong side and a right side of the zipper. Make sure it's zipper the right side up, and you'll need your pocket fabric. Now that will be right side up. Okay, I'm going to lay this zipper on top of that, and it's going to go right to that edge. Now I'm going to use some Wonder Tape, but I just want to show you the orientation. That's going to go here. Make sure that your pocket, let's see, yes. So because when we flip it's like that, that'll be right sides together. So right side up, zipper on top, top zipper is right side up as well. And then the main part of your neck wallet is wrong side up. But I have this cool tool that I previously showed you, and I recommend, now you've always got the option, you can always pin, always do that, but you already bought the Wonder Tape, or at least you might have bought the Wonder Tape, and if you did, use your resources. Go ahead and put a piece of Wonder Tape here, trim that. I would do the same thing on this piece, Put the Wonder Tape there and trim, peel it off. You get the idea. It holds everything together, so pins are not necessary. I'm not going to take the time to do that, but I would just peel that off, peel that off. Okay, you've got your zipper here, Okay, I'm going to take this to I would not need to pin, right? Because I'm all stuck together. I've got my Wonder Tape. Take this over to I feel confident, even though I'm not technically tacked together, I'm going to go ahead and sew that. I want you to see me using the zipper foot. Normally I'm obviously using a 1/4 inch foot because I quilt, but here we're going to be using the zipper foot. Let's make sure we're all put together. There we are. So I'll show you what I have so far. We're going to flip this over. So you've got your front and you have your pocket. Now I want to go ahead and I'm going to top stitch this just to secure kind of those two things together. It gives this a finished look. I want to show you that. That's what I'm talking about. So let's take that to the machine. I'm going to leave that zipper foot in there. And I'm sewing just about 1/8 of an inch away. And it's thick. I can feel there's a lot going on here. Trim away the threads. These bling scissors are so fun. Lots of pretty colors are available. You know, they're not a high-end scissor. I'm not even going to try to pretend to tell you they are. But they make me happy, and I bet they'll make you happy too. They're just fun, practical little scissors to have around when you're clipping threads or things like that. Okay, so now that we have our neck wallet to this stage, the next thing that we're going to do is, remember how I mentioned that this pocket is a half pocket. So we're going to bring that up to this position. I'm going to apply some Wonder Tape. I just want to first show you the layout. Okay, that pocket is coming up to the top of the zipper, and then our back of our wallet, which also has the fusible fleece, will be right side down at the top. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply my Wonder Tape. Since I have it, it's a wonderful tool, nothing shifts. I'm going to go ahead and put that on here, take it to the sewing machine and sew here, and when I come back I'll take it to the next step. Now that I have the pocket on, the back is on, I'm going to go ahead and open this up. I'm going to now make sure the pocket and the backing are stacked right on top of one another. And again, go ahead and take this to my machine. I'd even put a little pin in there. I don't want that to move. And I'm going to do a top stitch. It's just, again, a nice way to hold everything in position. It looks very professional. A little bit awkward. Things are in the way just a bit. Move that. There we go. Just make sure everything is all still stacked. Okay. So you see how it just looks so finished there. I didn't get the straightest line now, did I? Of course, that's why you have a great seam ripper. While I'm at it, I use this thing a lot. I will admit, I make mistakes all the time. And you know, especially in a quilt that I'm going to give away, I want it to be as accurate and as attractive and as beautifully pieced as possible. I love this Clover seam ripper. It's so sharp and it just fits beautifully in your hand. So if you seam rip as much as I do, spend a couple dollars and get a seam ripper you really, really like. It's my favorite one by far. Now that I'm going to go ahead and zip that back up, because I'm going to take you to the next step now. We've got our pocket inside. Let's see here. Let's get ourselves put all back together. So it was closed like this, right? Well, we, of course, want to bring the zipper to inside these boundaries so that we can now cut that off. Let's stack that on top of itself. And we're going to go, in fact, I'm going to put a couple pins in there. And I'm going to trim that zipper, but I want to make sure that's where I want it to be trimmed. And now we're going to put the binding on. Oops, I better be careful about that vinyl. That's right. In fact, I might even use some wonder clips down in that area, because I don't want to put, I made that mistake before of pinning vinyl. Oh my goodness. Unlike fabric where the hole just disappears, vinyl doesn't do that. It's there. So let's use some wonder clips when we sew that together. And I do recommend at this point, before you put the binding on, of just basting this together. You've got enough going on without adding that. So now that we're happy, it's all stacked on top of itself, you'll go ahead and you'll cut away that zipper. Same on that side, and you're going to cut this away. So now it's when the binding, and let me show you our finished example. So we're at that stage, right, where now we just want to kind of wrap this whole thing up. You'll need a pretty good sized piece of binding. That's going to be in the download. It's at least 2 strips, if not maybe 3. I believe that we left about an 18, 17 inch tail, I guess I would call it. It depends on how low you want the neck wallet to sit on you. So you can adjust that in the end as well. So we just left a nice long tail, 18 inches, folded our binding strip in half. But let me show you how we did that real quick. So you've got your binding fabric. You're simply folding that in half, leaving the nice long tail up here. Again, whatever distance you think that's going to be, 18 inches, you could always trim it down. You're folding that in half and pressing, and you're just going to position this here. You could do pins, you could do the wonder clips, and you're just going to sew a 1/4 inch seam, mitering the corners, come back up and leave a tail here. In fact, that's what this is right here. That's exactly what we did. If you don't know binding, mitering the corners, all of that, at the end of this video, there's our binding series. Just click on that and that'll show you what am I talking about with all this binding, and how do you manage binding and how do you miter corners. Just click on the binding series and I'll show you in that series. So once you've got the binding on, let's go to this one. It's very simple. You've got your 2 ends right up here. Make sure there's no twist in there, and you'll simply do what's called a butt joint. So you've got this, you simply go right sides together on those 2, or like this. Take that to your sewing machine, sew your 1/4 inch seam, a nice short stitch length so that it's not going to come unraveled on you. Pressure seam open. Then how you manage this part is quite simple. Just tuck it under. You could even press it, or just with your hands. I would recommend wonder clips or pins. Let's just do the larger wonder clip on that one. In fact, the small wonder clip is actually better. Let's use the small ones on that. And you see how I'm just tucking that under the 1/4 and then tucking it. You don't even really necessarily need to press that. I think that's probably not a necessary step. And then you will take that to the sewing machine, and you're just gonna catch that edge. Let me show that to you here. It's not even 1/8 of an inch. It's maybe an eighth, maybe a 16th to an eighth, somewhere in that range. And then you're ready to go. So that's all there is to learning how to make a neck wallet with Shabby fabrics.